silent treatment is it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like my mom did it and her mom. It's an instinct that's in us all that we all just know. And here's what made me think of that. I rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it, but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, And don't be like, we were going to watch it tonight. We're going to go to Blockbuster on the way home and... So he's dead the whole time. And I don't know. That's, if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about when you watched it. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in our life, We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead.
I do like a tanning bed.
Will you go to a tanning bed?
I haven't been in years, but I used to go a lot.
Really?
I love a tanning bed.
I don't think I've ever been in a tanning bed.
Me either.
It's like the last thing I think you would do.
GTL.
You have a nice, tidy, whitey tan lap.
No, that's why.
Socks.
That's why you do the tanning.
Yeah,
because
he's
got
socks.
There's no tan.
He's got his socks halfway up.
What do you mean? There's no tan lines? Are you naked in there?
Yeah.
You don't get fully naked in a tanning bed.
For sure.
No.
Yeah, you're in a room alone.
Do they know you were naked?
Yeah, do you tell them?
Yeah, that's what you do. I don't go, hey, I was naked in there, guys. But,
Come on, wipe that down.
Get a fire hose come in after you.
Are you sure you're supposed to do it that way?
that is how you're supposed to do it.
Okay.
One guy was at the airport. He goes, "Well, who are you?" I go, "I'm a comedian." He goes, "Is there any money in that?" Like he told me, like he would do it. Yeah, like it was like I'm a plumber, and he's like, "How's that going now?" He go, "Yeah, it's a good business now, man. I think you should get in on it, dude." I had a golf tournament I did. It was for my high school. It's the Nate Bargatze golf tournament, and I'm sitting there in the same golf cart. These two guys. In the same group, one kid comes up and he was taking a picture of me. He's nervous. He's kind of shaking. And I take a picture with him. And he's like, "We're just big fan, whatever." And then the guy in the next cart comes up. He goes, "So you still doing it?" I go, "Yeah, still bouncing around." He's at a golf tournament with my name on it. Yeah, still plugging along.
Maybe he thought that was the end, where it's like when you come home and do a golf tournament, like,
you know what?
It's over.
The end is usually when your name is on a golf tournament.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Krispy Kreme had, if you bring in your report card, for every A, you get a donut.
That would be a good ascent. They should do. They still do that?
I don't know. I don't know if it was just the one by our house.
Is that how you got into Notre Dame?
Say
I had
less.
straight A's this whole childhood.
Dang, dude, this guy's killing it.
What if we'll find out it wasn't Krispy Kreme never did this? It was just your family did this to you. Krispy Kreme's like, I don't even know what he's talking about.
They walk. He's like, "Let me go in there first and make sure they're still doing it." He slips in $10. He's like, "When my son comes in,
When my son comes in, yeah.
A 12-year charade.
He goes, "I don't even know if they're open. Let me run in real fast." His dad goes, "Hey, I got a son. You're noticed." And
There's a senior photo. Last night, I was in Smithville, Tennessee. That's DeKalb County, of course.
I think I got a funny new tour name for you, Bates.
All right, let's hear it. Hang on.
I'm ready. Bates's tour is called Easier to Drive. It's just a tour every gig you get. You go, "You want to fly?" You go, "I think it's just easier if you drive." It's always in a city where there's going to be a layover.
You're not writing it down.
Yeah.
Not what I was hoping for, but
Well,
That's a
it's
good
good in the sense that you're showing you're getting to other parts of the country
Yeah.
that maybe other comics aren't going
That's
to.
right. You haven't gone
I
full
would say-
Hollywood like Nate. He's
Yeah.
only doing shows in L.A.
You're reaching
Yeah.
different parts of the country.
You're going to real America.
That's
Yeah.
right. different parts of the state.
Yeah.
No, different parts of the mid-state.
He goes,
The
yeah,
middle
look,"
Tennessee kid.
He goes, yeah.
Now that I like. Boom.
I did Whitney Cummings' podcast, and she talked about crows like that. Like she has some crow feeders. I bought a crow feeder. I still don't have any crows now, but yeah, she says they'll bring you tools and stuff.
Oh, wow.
You start leaving food out, they'll bring little tools for you.
As thank you gifts?
I guess, yeah. We bonded over crows.
Man, I sure could use a fence post digger.
That might be a tough tool to bring, but it'd be a whole murder of crows.
Wow.
Here's your fence. You go, oh, here's that corn on the cob. Yeah.
Were you doing an impression of a crow?
Breathing hard.
As a spokesperson for all of Earth, all right, I think I'll give you a message that I don't think no one will give you. And I'm here to say that we're doing fine. So just relax. You know, we're in a time where everybody yells at you and everybody's bad. We're doing great, all right? I did some research. And I was like, let me look at the other planets. Let's see how good they're doing. And I don't want to, I mean, it's unbelievable. They're nowhere right now. Some of them have too many moons. That's how stupid they are. And so let's calm down, all right? We're so much farther ahead. I mean, they haven't started and we're almost done. So let's celebrate being first. Don't be sore winners. Everybody in there was like 50. I'm like, well, who's the teacher? The best wedding I've ever been to was my cousin's wedding. It was a real redneck affair. It was right outside Louisville, Kentucky, where my parents are from. And my cousin's name is Tuesday, which is a good start. The invitation said Tuesday's getting married, rehearsals Friday, wedding Saturday. People were like, we got to be there Monday for this wedding? How long is this wedding? It's a week? We get there, I'm wearing a button-down shirt, khaki pants, nothing crazy. I'm wildly overdressed. I look like I work there. Everybody else just has a football or basketball jersey on. I'm married. It's fine, you know. I've been married for 7 years, and we have a 10-month-old, so it's getting pretty serious. So I lived in New York for 8 years, and so I just moved to LA. But my daughter was born. She was supposed to be born like when we were living in New York, but I flew home, and she was born in Tennessee. Because I did not want her to be born in New York. Like, I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So, yeah, I was like, you start where we start, all right? I tried to, I'm always like trying to lose weight. I had a thing that happened that I do. It was like, I gotta get it together. I go to the trunk of my car, and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, Olivia? I had to turn, I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, sorry, honest mistake. And I was like, I don't know. He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. At a car that he does not recognize. I don't know who he disrespected more, me or Olivia, to be honest. I mean, we could both have a word with him. And everything's wet. So, everything's wet. Oh, hold on. Wait. We're like trying, I know, it's all right. I know, y'all should apologize for y'all's fly. Those Houston flies, you know how they are. Always want the spotlight. And I thought flies don't live long, and they live so long. Thank you. Trying to dodge it. God, I almost got it. If someone walked in right now, it looks like this is what the show is. Like it's just, this is how far, like we have Wi-Fi's down. We're now just paying to watch a man
try to slap a fly. And you're like, a lot of people show up. It's pretty fun. You know, like it goes.
Always talk to me very easy too, or dumb. Like if I talk to a stranger, I can always feel it. And I think it's my eyes. I have big eyes, you know? And so I just get a lot of like, you still with me, man? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I mean, I'm listening. And he goes, all right, I don't feel like you could be anywhere, you know? We're at a Holiday Inn Express. So the breakfast buffet there is where they have the cereal where you turn the knob and like 4 pieces fall out. It's like how you feed a cat for a long weekend, you know? And you're like, that's enough. They had batter and syrup. And so you pour they had the waffle iron where you make it yourself. So you pour the batter on the waffle iron, you shut it, you turn it over, it locks, it cooks for 2 minutes, you turn it over, you open it, half the waffle comes off, half stays forever. That's how you eat a waffle. So I'm with my buddy of mine that's my age. So we go through, he's in front of me. Not really talking or anything, just going through. He gets to it. It's batter and syrup. They're in clear containers. They're not labeled, but they're in clear containers. He gets the syrup and starts pouring it on the waffle iron. And I'm not even stopping him because he's not doing it where he's going, I've never done that. He's doing it where we're probably going to try it after. I mean, he's just like, you're like, dude, I can't wait to see what this guy's making. Like, he might know something that I don't know. He shuts it, turns it over, it cooks. He's like looking at us. We're like, I mean, the whole line's like, yeah, what is that going to be? And it makes black smoke is what it makes. Just, I mean, dark black smoke. Just starts filling the lobby. The manager comes over. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I guess I poured the wrong one. These are not labeled. And the guy's like, they're in clear containers. Do you not know the difference of batter and syrup? And he's like, I bet it happens all the time. He goes, I've worked here my whole life and I've never seen this. So they threw the waffle iron. They just throw it away. That's what they have to do. Just throw it away. It's over. And now there's no waffle. I mean, we went from all about to get a waffle to it's upside down in a trash can. And then he just turns and looks, and it's just a line of people with that little foam plate. And just everybody's sad. I just hear someone in the back go like, I set my alarm for this. I mean, 2 guys didn't have shoes on. They go, I ran down with no shoes in that elevator. I thought I was going to miss it. Like, this sucks. Because that was a very bad word in the 80s. And look, I'm sorry to say it now. This is supposed to be a clean show. I'm bringing this filth into it. That was a very bad word in the 80s. If you said that word in the 80s, it was like, well, good luck with drugs and life in prison. My dad took us to see the first Karate Kid at the movie theater, and they said sucks in it. And right when I heard it, I looked at my dad and I go, what kind of trash you bringing us to? Now, I have a sister, and she is 10 years younger than me, and apparently was raised by her best friends. She has no fear of them. I mean, I'm scared my dad's gonna show up tonight. She'll tell them they suck to their face. I mean, and I'm like mortified, but you can't talk to them like that. 43, you still think you're young. I have this jacket on. I'll hang out with a 23-year-old, and I'm like, you get it, dude? We're just a couple young dudes kicking it. Some guy will walk up, he's like, I'm 45. I'm like, why don't you beat it, old man? I can't believe that guy had the nerve to think he was our age, right, dude? That's crazy. Let's go sit down for a little bit. Doctor visit. It was the first time I've ever been talked to old. It was just me and the doctor. And he looks at me and he just goes, do you pee a lot at night? Big amount. I miss being young. Rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it, but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, you know? And don't be like, we're going to watch it tonight. We're going to go to Blockbuster on the way home and shit. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in our life, you know? We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And I was like, when I watched it, I was like, what, do they show him dying? Yeah. That guy shoots him with a gun. That's how the movies start. That's how obvious they're like, hey, he's dead. And we still watched it for 2 hours, just like, I know what this guy's going through, you know? This is a movie about marriage and how hard marriage is. Yeah. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy behind the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, I mean, he can't handle that. He's gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I honestly said. I can't believe you've made it this far. I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is gonna help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through it. We got married on Friday the 13th. Got a pretty sweet deal on that. They were wide open. We were like, what times are available? They go, every one of them, all 24. You can call us that day if you want. Her brother married us. That was free. The photographer was just a buddy of ours that had he just bought a new camera. So we were like, you gonna do our wedding? Never done anything professionally, and it showed. His camera stopped working during it, and he started taking stuff out of it. Like, that would be the problem. It's like, yeah, you know what? I bet they put too much stuff inside of it when they built it. You should yank some of those wires. That's not supposed to be in there like that. My wife is the man of our house. And it can become hard because she'll hire someone to fix something and they always come talk to me. I just think they're used to talking to husbands and they come to me and I'm like, I don't know why you're here. I walked by at the wrong time. Now I'm in a water heater conversation. And I'm like, yeah, well, these tough time for water heaters, you know, well, finally, he's like, well, where's the water heater at? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think we have one, to be honest. And he was very confused by this. He didn't know what to say, but, it's a new time. So he was like, is your husband here by any chance? I said, yeah, she's around here somewhere. You just open the door and they're like, will you go get 50 bags of ice? Every time I go by it, he's like, all right, you're gonna hop on this shuttle bus and you're gonna go do medicine ball throws for 4 to 5 hours. And whatever amount of ice, when you were inside, I looked in your car and you had a cup and I was like, you want a little bag of ice for that cup? So we got in the fight over the phrase one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents. I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop, Let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. Over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? She does whatever she wants. She turned 18 and got a tattoo. And I was like, well, you're going to get in pretty big trouble when they find that out. And she goes, I'm 18, I can do whatever I want. I go, yeah, well, I'm 28 and I'm still hiding wine, so I don't think you can. She got a tattoo, then my dad went and got a tattoo. Yeah, I guess he figured no one's in charge anymore. I recently found out my mom got a tattoo. They tried to hide that one from me, but I found out, and I was livid when I found this out. I set them all down together, and I said, I don't think y'all should be hanging out anymore. How about that? Pardon my language, but I think it stinks what's going on. I think it stinks. I'm gonna go back to school with her, not physically go back to school, but when she brings homework home, I think I need a whole nother run through. I need one more. I don't remember any of it, so I needed to be like, what are they doing? I don't know. She's gonna go to make sure she goes to college. I did not go to college. I went to a community college. I went for 1 year. I don't even have a credit, so my loan was $40. I just paid cash. I just gave the teacher cash. I was like, this is cool, and he was like, yeah, it's more than enough.
I took remedial classes. That's why none of it counted. Remedial is basically when they're like, look, we really don't understand why your high school let you leave. And we're shocked about it. We're going to look into it. But until then, here are some classes you can take that affect nobody. Like, I took math as a class. Like, I literally bought a book, and the title said math on it. I took reading as well. Like, reading. Like, I drove to that class. I've driven to a reading class. I'm not even an immigrant. I'm from here. I should have knocked it out years ago. I think community college is basically just life kind of being like, look, you're probably going to do manual labor, all right? And that's fine. Because I would go to class, our teacher would be like, all right, everybody, so today's assignment is we're going to help me move. So... Thank you very much. My name is Nate. I'm from Tennessee, and I always like when I meet people and they hear my accent because they're always like, "Hey, where are you from?" I'm like, "Tennessee." They're like, "That's cool. I got a cousin that lives in Florida." I was like, "What?" All right. Are we just naming states? Is that what's going on right now? Is his name Kevin? Because it's not Kevin. I don't know who it is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta go. So good talk, though. Nice hang. My last name is Bargatze, too. I'm Italian. But here's the deal. I'm not accepted by the Italians because of the way I talk. It just doesn't work out. Like, I couldn't go to the mafia and be like, "So what are y'all doing?" What's happening? I like spaghetti. I would like to join. I like what y'all are doing.
I don't know if anybody's like a prostitute here. I would figure some of you, most of you. All right. All of you? Oh, wow. All right. No. If, here's it's a rough time for prostitutes because, one, the economy is not that good. And if you're a prostitute in New York, you're getting murdered. So that's a lot too, you know. But if I was always like, they did just have a bunch of prostitutes get murdered in New York, and I was thinking like when a cop goes and walks up on someone that's been killed, it sucks because you have to go. I mean, the person's dead, that sucks, but then you got to go tell the family, and that's like horrible news. But if it's a prostitute, it's double the bad news. You got their family doesn't know they're a prostitute, so you got to go up and be like, "Oh yeah, your daughter's dead," and it wasn't going that good to begin with because she was a prostitute. So, yeah. But I thought about it. I go, all right, if you have to do that. I think the best way to go about it is like you should like when you go to the door, open with the prostitute thing, kind of get the ball rolling a little bit. You know, you're like, "Look, sir, I hate to say this, but your daughter was a prostitute." Because then every father's going to freak out and be like, "I can't believe I'm going to kill her." Then you're like, "Oh, that's actually, it's crazy that you brought that up without me saying." Do you remember Cecil the lion, that lion that got killed by that dentist? And people got upset, you know? They're like, "You can't do that." And all I thought, I was like, what are the odds the one lion you shoot, everybody was like, "It wasn't Cecil, was it?" That's unbelievable. That's the worst luck both of them have the worst luck possible. There's 30,000 lions left. There's a 1 in 30,000 chance you shoot a lion and the whole world's like, was it Cecil? That's our best friend. We watch him every day. And it's like, he was like, "I don't know, it was a lion, dude. They look like lions. They didn't have something special, you know, make them stand out if we love one, you know, give them a hat. I don't know, like. I don't believe in science. I just it's like I don't understand it, so it's easier not to believe in it. It's a quick they could be making stuff up, you know. I read that they said like cockroaches are like 350 million years old, and it's like, are they, or do you know? I don't know how to go figure that out, because that's what I think you're doing. I think you know that I wouldn't even have a clue to start to figure that out, or want to. So you're just throwing numbers out at me, and I just go, all right. I guess that's what they told y'all in school. Me and my wife, we were in Nashville last summer, and we went out on the lake, and we were like floating around in the water, and there was a guy in a boat like right next to us, and my wife was like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat. I didn't know who he was, so she didn't have to say that at all. She was just basically like, you having fun? Because I like to put a stop to that and make you stare at this guy the rest of the day. So I'm like staring at him, and then I look at my wife, and she's staring at him, and I feel like she's staring at him to see what her life would be like if she didn't marry me. My friends were like, you should have went and tried to fight him. And I was like, well, I would have had to swim over to that fight. So I don't know how intimidating that is for a guy to see a head in a life jacket floating his way. And then I gotta get in the boat, you know? Like, if you ever try to climb into a boat from water, it's not aggressive. It takes an hour if no one is in the boat. If he's in there, I'm never gonna get in. I would need his help. I'd be like, could you help me into this boat? I can't tell you why, but I really need in this boat. We're trying to discipline her too, and it's hard to discipline kids nowadays. You know, you can't do it. You can't spank them. You can't talk about it in a microphone for sure. So, it's like, what do? You gotta hope it works out. Spanking got like blown out of proportion, because like you would see like a video of a lady like fighting her kid in a Walmart parking lot, and they were like, no, you're not supposed to spank. You're like, that was a regular fight. That's not like what we're talking about. I was spanked. My generation was. It was fine, you know. You ever talk to really old generations? They just act like they were beat with bats. They say stuff to you like, I don't know, that doesn't sound like that should have been happening. You should have called the police or something. Like, the police would hit us as well. Everybody was hitting us. We had to put our dog down recently, and it's a tough thing to do, you know. Nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now, and she was very sick. That was a joke, all right? That was a joke, and she would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker. Out of all the years, this has been the best one. I mean, there's aliens. They said there's UFOs. And no one cares. What kind of year could you have that you could sneak in? Hey, everybody, on the news. They're at the end of the news. They go, there's UFOs. And you're like, oh, do they have COVID? And you're like, no. Like, I don't know. They won't get tested. But I don't read any books. I don't do it. And I think that matters. I do think that matters. Reading, I believe, is the key to smart. That's what I've always said. And I don't do it because every book is just the most words. It doesn't let up. I mean, every page is more words. It's like, what are you talking about there? Put some blank pages in there. Let me get my head above water for 2 seconds. The dumbest I've ever been talked to, I like to golf. And so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas or the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, they have llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big, dumb eyes, and he goes, just so you know, llamas can't talk, though. I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he's like, I'm going to say it so that guy doesn't have to say it. Like, I'm just at the zoo talking to the giraffes, just, hey, where are you guys from, you know? I know where you're from, but where are you from? You know what I mean? They did a thing on 60 Minutes about, like, do you know you can buy a tiger here? Like, if you guys want to buy a tiger tonight, I could get you in touch with someone that does have tigers. I don't know if I can. You can buy a tiger here in the U.S. They did an undercover reporting on it, and my favorite part was they asked the guy that sells tigers. They were like, "So do you think it's too easy to buy a tiger in this country?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, it's way too easy." And you know what? That's why America's the best. All right. I didn't even know you could buy tigers. I would have been embarrassed to ask. And then I come and find out I don't really have to jump through hoops if I do want to buy a tiger. It's not an all-day thing, it's like an hour. I'll be right back with our tiger. And everybody wants to take away guns, you know, it's like we gotta get everybody's guns. But then that makes me nervous, because I think if you take away guns from people, those are the exact same people that will buy tigers. And That's a much bigger problem, all right? Like, you're probably gonna be like, look, here's your gun back. And they're like, no, I'm good, dude. My Tiger is way better than my gun. My gun missed all the time. My Tiger rarely misses. Even if he does miss, it's just for a second, you know? Like, it's never, like, if the guy dodges, he's like, your dumb Tiger missed. It's like, I mean, it did not. It is right behind you now. And, yeah, he's pissed about it. So, we recycle, you know, and we recycle because of my wife. It's her, she gets all the credit for that. I would never recycle if I was by, I don't do it if she's not looking at me. So, I would never do it if I was alone. I looked up a list of like what are you supposed to do for global warming as an individual? And it was a big, long list. But the first thing on the list was my favorite. It just said, just talk to your friends and family about it. Think about your friends and family. Like, just when you guys get together, like, do you mind if we talk about global warming for a little? I just thought this would be a good time to get into it. I had a great aunt and uncle fist fight each other at a wedding. Let me get in the middle of that fight. Any chance this fight was about global warming? Because I just would love to get that conversation rolling, you know? I don't know anything about history. And I can tell because every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is gonna happen? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were, you know? She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can track you even when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not gonna live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not gonna lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. I've done it, but I'm not gonna do it every time. And that's claustrophobia. It just kind of ruins everybody's time. It's what's funny, the panic of claustrophobia is pretty funny though. I mean, it's not funny when it's happened to you, but how quick you go from normal to just an insane person is just, it's all at the same time. So it's all kind of new to me, so I forget I have it. And I'll put myself in a situation and I go, there it is. I got an Uber once with like 7 people. And so we get in, I'll get in the third row trying to be a good guy. And I climb in the back, they put all the seats up and it just starts hitting me. And I mean, I'm back there, you're like, just trying to be normal, you know, you're not talking. And then you just go, hey, you think you could roll the window down? You know what? Can everybody just get out of the van real fast? I mean, we're just driving down the interstate. Hey, could y'all crack the window? Do you mind if I drive the Uber? You think I can drive it? So they wanted us to be prepared for it. What they did was like, you know, you always hand out flyers if a kid goes missing. They put a picture of the kid and all the information below the flyer. So the height, weight, eye color, all that stuff. So instead of making a flyer, what they made us do was we wrote on a piece of paper our name, height, weight, eye color, and then we just held it up against the wall and they just took a picture of us. We already have one made, which if we would have been kidnapped, my parents would be in prison right now. No one's going to believe you pre-took pictures. I mean, they're going to just look at this and be like, all right, just tell us where the kids are at. That would be the easiest thing to do. I've never seen this ever. My dad, too. My dad has surgery 8 times a year, probably. And he loves it. He loves it. He had surgery because he was addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. Look, I've been addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. If you don't know what it is, I would honestly tell you not to get involved. It's one of the best things I've ever been part of. Solves everything immediately. When I was on it too, my wife she'd be like, "What's that?" No, she hear one puff. What's that? I go, "I ain't gonna live like this. I ain't worked this hard not to do effort in my own home." My wife and I, we got in the fight over the phrase "one fell swoop," just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. So my wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, you know? when you marry into divorce, I mean, they divorced because of her, not me. So why do I have to go to 50 different houses? She wanted to go visit her parents, and shit, I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years. She's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband. And goes, perfect. Use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents. And I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop. You know, let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. I mean, over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just like waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home when you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. I mean, that's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of sorries, just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. I mean, we're just sitting there, our daughters, like, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, you know your mom's crazy, right? And then she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife just came over, and she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it, you know? That was like, I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I was like laid there, and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot, because you're like, all right. Because you learn, the longer you get married, sometimes it's like, just let stuff go. You know, who cares? And the next morning, I get up, and I kind of still wanted to talk about it. Because we didn't talk all night, you know? So I went into her, I was like, look, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just not what it means, you know? That got it going real good. But I felt so good about this argument, you know? I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it back up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I'd like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Her marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So my wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks. And it's not her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was like, it's your voice. I just hate it. I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? It was 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best time you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? If I have to get my wife's coffee, she has to text me what she wants because I don't know how to pronounce like most of the words there. So I just show them the phone. I go, she wants this. And they're like, does she want it in Sweden? I'm like, guess we have to call her now, don't we? And I make them talk to her. I go, talk to a stranger's wife. Say what you said to me. My daughter still sleeps in our bed too. And parents don't like that when you say it. They're like, you got to keep them outside. Don't look at them. It's my fault. So we had a kid late in life. We have one kid. And so we're kind of hitting all the sights. And I would be, when I get home, I travel a bunch, and I get home, I'd want us to all sleep in the bed together. And I've kind of built up a habit now, and it's happening. So it's tough, though, because kids don't know how to sleep. I mean, she makes king bed feel like a twin. I mean, I'm on the edge. When I sleep alone in a hotel, I have to sleep with my head on the nightstand. It's the only way I know how to go to bed. She gets sideways, upside down. If you woke up upside down tomorrow, you would go to the hospital. She's also apparently going through menopause because she's the hottest human being that's ever lived. I mean, I'm freezing at night. She just kicks all the covers off, and you're like, yeah, no, you go ahead. It's your bed. We're lucky to be in it. she's got to get out at some point, you know? I don't know. She'll be 37 years old. Hey, can I get in the bed with you guys? Her kids are upstairs asleep in their bed. Her husband left a while ago. He ain't gonna put up with that. Vanderbilt went to their first bowl game in football in like 20 years, in 2008. And so we all go to it. We're very excited. It's at Tennessee Titans Stadium. So me and a bunch of buddies get together. We go tailgate. We get cornhole, a grill. Like we're going all out. And my ticket was at will call. So I was like, look, I gotta go get my ticket. I'll be right back. So I go get my ticket. And before the lady gives it to me, she ripped it, which means you have to go in. And it was, I mean, a full 3 hours before the game starts. I was like, I don't want to go in yet, you know? And she's like, you have to go. And I just walked in to just an empty stadium, 60,000 empty seats. I go to my seat. I don't even just go to I went to like the one I'm supposed to go to, like a loser. The players are like in jeans. They're not even dressed yet. I was like, I'm real excited for the game. I like startled them. They're like, oh, I didn't even know anybody was in here. Did you go to Vandy? I was like, you would think with how early I'm here. But I also think if I went to Vandy, I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. I walked to the top of the stadium and just watched my friends tailgate. I just sat up at the very top. And I was like, I'm already in, guys. Yeah, I decided to save our numbered seats. Nothing was open. I stood in front of a concession stand like I was waiting for an iPhone to come out. Just that gate was down. I'm just like already trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. And they came and opened it, and one side got stuck, and I helped them. I go, I'll get that. So I helped them open it. They're like, oh, do you work here? I was like, I've been here a little bit longer than you have. So, look, you think I'm old. There's people older than me still around. Yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy. Walking around. People from the 30s. My great Aunt Helen, from the 30s. She's deaf. They didn't know she was deaf until she was 9 years old. That's how long it took them to figure it. Deaf, one of the easier ones to figure out. And the doctors were baffled as they smoked in her face. And they're like, I don't know, you know? She's rude, I'll tell you that. My parents are getting older. So my mom, we had her go pick up our daughter recently at a friend's house, and I texted her the address. She drove to the wrong house. So she knocked on the door, and another grandmother answered. Well, this is not good. This is like two dogs seeing each other through a fence. They're going to be there for a while, you know? So my mom, she knocks on the door. The grandmother, my mom goes, is my granddaughter in there? And that lady goes, I have 3 grandsons, so no solution. Just 2 grandmothers, just, do you have stuff? I have stuff too. They talk for 30 minutes. It's a wrong door. I had to go get my daughter, then find my mom. My dad, too. My dad has surgery 8 times a year, probably. And he loves it. He loves it. He had surgery because he was addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. Look, I've been addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. If you don't know what it is, I would honestly tell you not to get involved. It's one of the best things I've ever been part of. Solves everything immediately. When I was on it too, my wife she'd be like, what's that? No, she'd hear one puff. What's that? I go, I ain't gonna live like this. I ain't worked this hard not to do effort in my own home. So, my dad goes to the doctor, and they were like, do you use Afrin? And he goes, no. And the doctor was like, I can see that you use it. I was just saying that. He goes, how long have you been using it? My dad said 5 years, which is a lie. But my mom was there, and she goes, how about 45 years? That's how long he's used it, 45 years. The back of the box says no more than 3 days. There's not a medicine on earth that tells you to give it a good 45-year run. My wife was with me when I had that job. I mean, someone be like, you want to try this? And I got to get her involved. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know how long to microwave something. I have to ask her every time, as if her family invented the microwave. And I went up to this guy and I was like, hey man, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, what's a hammock? And it threw me off enough that I was like, am I saying it wrong? I was like, I think I'm saying it wrong, because you know what it is. And I was like, is it hammock with a T? Does that sound right? Like, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, we're out of hammocks. We're out of them. It's hammock season. And I left, went to my car, Googled where to buy a hammock. And Google was like, do you mean hammock? It's like, I sure do, Google. Where were you at during all of this? As if I'm the one talking. I don't think of the consequences with everything. I would like another dog. My wife does not want another dog because it's a lot. Because you gotta open the back door and let 2 dogs out. Then you shut it. And now they're out there. You're inside, not dealing with it. But then they want to come back in and you're like, gotta go let all these dogs back in. You're like, 1 dog, 2, look at all these dogs everywhere. Look, to be honest, I've never taken care of the 1 dog we have, but we get there, I'm wearing a button-down shirt, khaki pants, nothing crazy. I'm wildly overdressed. I look like I work there. Everybody else just has a football or basketball jersey on. My uncle, his daughters get married. He has his tuxedo jacket, pants, cummerbund, bow tie, no shirt. They forgot his shirt, and instead of waiting to go get it, he was like, let's do it without it, right? Like, that's... And he doesn't have a body that's like, that's cool, man. You know, he has a body that you're like, put your jacket on backwards, flip it around. Yeah. And then you see his back, and you're like, whew, all right, go back the regular way. Yeah, that's my fault. How's your back worse than your front? My mom and my wife planned the wedding, and they're both cheap. We got married on Friday the 13th, got a pretty sweet deal on that. They were wide open. We were like, what times are available? They go, every one of them, all 24. You can call us that day if you want. Her brother married us, that was free. The photographer was just a buddy of ours that had he just bought a new camera. So we were like, you gonna do our wedding? Never done anything professionally, and it showed. His camera stopped working during it, and he started taking stuff out of it. Like, that would be the it's like, yeah, you know what? I bet they put too much stuff inside of it when they built it. You should yank some of those wires. That's not supposed to be in there like that. I have a show called Rescue 911, and it would just show reenactments of crimes. And it was powerful. I've seen 3 seconds of Rescue 911. I remember walking through the living room. My parents are watching it. I look at the TV. A guy has a ski mask on, and a woman is asleep with her feet out from under the covers, and he started rubbing her foot. That's all I saw. I kept walking. I don't know what happened before or after, but I know I've never been able to sleep with my feet out from under the covers because I accidentally saw that 30 years ago. And my feet get so hot, and I want to put them out so bad. I mean, I try it every night for 30 years, and then that image pops in my head, and I yank them right back under. I'll be in a hotel room, and I'm like, look, you can't get in here, dude. You've locked everything. And I'm like, that's exactly what he's been waiting for. He's probably already in here. I almost joined the Army when I was 18 just because they called. That was the only reason. I thought I got picked. I was like, oh, wow, this is an honor. I also signed up for a JCPenney credit card at 18 because they called, and I was like, man, this day is getting crazier and crazier. I would love it. I would love a credit card. I just got called for the Army. I'll go get some stuff. My mom had to go get me out of all of that. My mom had to call the Army and JCPenney in the same day. She was like, he's not doing any of this. He got to the phone quicker than he usually does. So, have you ever been to a Starbucks inside? If you go inside and there's a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? You'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, you know, did you see everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So, how about we do it like a regular, normal business, you know? And you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just been like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day. And this old man walks up to me and goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, Olivia? I covered up, and I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. I was like, God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though, I'll tell you that. I think I was buying a tree. I don't really know. But I tried to give him cash, and he was like, oh, you got to do a credit card. I was like, okay. I give a random iPad, all my family information. My wife's always around, too. I feel just always like near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I do if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm going to paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was going to start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. We got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? I do my own laundry. I think that's what it deserves. One day, I was like driving home, and it popped in my head, and I was like, all right, I'll bring that up. I mean, I didn't bring it up that day, you know. I was like, I'm sure there will be a time where we'll be in some fight, I'll be losing this fight, and then I just come, I'm like, I do my own laundry. She's like, fight's over, you win, I forgot how good I got it. We were going out to Mount Rainier, and I was with a buddy of mine. And Mount Rainier is it's the third biggest mountain in America. It's a good one to go to. I don't know who number 1 or number 2 is, but maybe one day it will be number 1, you know? Do mountains keep growing? I don't think we know that yet. So it's a good time to see it. It doesn't have the attitude of a 1 or a 2. My wife's always around, too. I feel just always like near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm going to paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was going to start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy by the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, he can't handle that. He's going to call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I got. I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what if you ever go, just so you know, you have to pay to go up it. It's not a free mountain. Someone bought it, and they're charging tickets. It's also all uphill. It's a nightmare. So be ready for those things. We drive up, we park, and we're walking up the trail. So we're going up it halfway. I mean, I can barely breathe. And this couple's coming down, so I stopped them. I was like, hey, is this enough where we're at? You know, is this like, you get it? Like, we're not trying to live on this mountain. And the lady goes, I'm 75 years old, and I did it. And I was like, all right, maybe that's why you didn't hear the question that I asked. Everybody's pretty cocky on the way down. I mean, there was women with babies. They had 3-month-old babies strapped to their chest. I was like, why would you bring that much extra weight with you? I left my wallet in the car. I remember driving to do a gig at this. I was opening for my buddy, and we're driving out there, and my car like barely worked at the time. And this was in New York, and it was the exit. I remember they go, we're the last exit. If you miss our exit, you're going to Canada. So there's the last exit in America. So they're like, don't miss this exit. Right. And it snowed, and my windshield wipers wouldn't work, and like, so you had to like stop every now and then so I could see. And then we did it, and then we went up and did a show. It was like a 6-hour drive just to have a lady tell me that I wasn't funny. She just yelled it out while you're up there. She's like, and you know when you can't hear them, you go, what's that? What'd you say? Yeah. I make her say it twice. Right. Like instead of just moving on. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What were you saying? Excuse me? She's like, you're not funny. Yeah. And I'm like, oh. And then afterwards, she came up and said, my husband said I shouldn't have said that. That was mean. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. She's like, I'm sorry. But she's like, but I mean, I honestly, like, I just don't see how you could even do this. Like, she couldn't let it go. Like. So my dad goes to the doctor, and they were like, do you use Afrin? And he goes, no. And the doctor was like, I can see that you use it. I was just saying that. He goes, how long have you been using it? My dad said 5 years, which is a lie. But my mom was there, and she goes, how about 45 years? That's how long he's used it, 45 years. The back of the box says no more than 3 days. There's not a medicine on earth that tells you to give it a good 45-year run. I love processed food, you know? I love it. I'm a farm factory table guy, and always have been, you know? DoorDash is what's gonna kill me. I mean, I don't know who I think I am. I look at it at night like it's Tinder. Just scrolling through, seeing who's open. Just, hey, Hardee's. The audacity I have when I order it. I mean, I'm just laying there. I'm like, bring me a Blizzard now. I want it right now. Lay it quietly on my porch. Don't let anybody in this house know I'm doing this. So, in our neighborhood, I know we forgot to take it out a couple weeks ago. That stress could break up a family. All week was like, everybody eat out of your hands. We had friends over, like, put your trash in your pockets, take it to your homes. Our dog sleeps in our bed, and someone told me, you're not supposed to do that because you lose dominance over the dog. And I asked him, I said, what year do you think it is? These are all doodles. They're barely dogs. It's the person. They're people. This guy acts like it's 1980 when you kept the dog outside all year. Those you needed dominance over. You had a wolf in the backyard. Friends come over, you want to go outside? I wouldn't. It's very nerve-wracking when a baby has to get a shot because like they just don't get it, you know? Like she's just looking at us like this day is going pretty unbelievable. And I don't see how it's gonna go wrong. As she's looking at the needle, and then you're like, it's about to go way wrong. So the needle goes in, she gets a shot. So we go to grab her, right, because we're ready for her to start crying. She blows us away. She doesn't cry at all. Like, we're just, like, baffled. We're, like, sitting there, like, I can't believe this. Like, this is unbelievable. My wife was, like, getting emotional. She was like, oh, maybe this is a sign she's going to be, like, a strong girl, like, a powerful woman. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Maybe she's going to be that. We all should think about, like, maybe she's going to be a psycho. Like, who doesn't cry when they get a shot? Have you thought about that at all? That's what I'm worried about. Who's fine with pain already at 9 months old? When you have a baby, you want them to be healthy and not a serial killer. And I don't know which path we're going down right now. I know in 20 years, I'm either going to be like, look, telling her like, we love you and we're happy you've accomplished everything. Or I'm going to be on the news being like, we love you and you need to turn yourself in right now. Right this second. I knew that shot meant something. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. She's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. That's a stupid question. I tell her that, all right? Because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now. But once I get to the bottom of that, I'm gonna do global warming. And I've got some pretty good ideas, you know?